Hello and welcome everybody to Millett Hall, where the sounds of sneakers squeaking on the hardwood are back. Basketball season is back upon us in the second year of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, the women's edition, starting tonight here in Oxford between the Appalachian State Mountaineers and the Miami RedHawks. Welcome, everybody. I am your host today, Bryan Miller. I will be giving you your pregame coverage, halftime coverage, and postgame coverage here on Red Hawk Radio. It's the dawn of a new season. Hopes and dreams still alive for everybody. Everybody coming into this season with 0 losses. Good news for a lot of teams as the season begins. Third meeting all time between the Mountaineers and the Red Hawks. 1-1 against each other. Last played on November 29th, 2009 at Pitt's Thanksgiving tournament. App State won that game 79-76 in overtime. So we'll see if we're able to get another good game here tonight in Oxford. Recapping last season, beginning with the Miami RedHawks. Last year, Miami went 9-20 in Glenn Box's first season as the head man for Miami. Finished tied for 9th in MAC play, went 6-12 in conference play. For reference, Toledo finished first in the MAC with a 17-1 record, but Kent State was able to win the MAC tournament and go to the NCAA tournament where they lost to Notre Dame in the first round. Coach for Miami, mentioned it earlier, Glenn Box entering his second season as Miami's head coach. Previously an associate head coach at Indiana from 2019 to 2023 and was an assistant coach at IU before then. So crossing the border and becoming the coach at Miami last year, coming into his second season. This year, RedHawks projected to finish 8th in the MAC preseason poll. Ball State, the Cardinals, projected to win the conference. They received 10 first-place votes in the preseason coaches poll. Kent State received the other 2 votes and is projected to finish second. For the Appalachian State Mountaineers, they finished last season 17-15, went 9-9 in conference play, finished 8th in the Sun Belt. Marshall won the regular season title with a 17-1 conference record and also won the conference tournament where they would lose to Virginia Tech in the first round in the NCAA tournament. But it's a new era for the Mountaineers. They have a new head coach, Alora Sharp, entering her first season as the App State head coach. Previously the head coach at Presbyterian, where she led the Blue Hose to their first NCAA tournament appearance and win after they beat Sacred Heart in the first 4. What was the reward for that? Well, Presbyterian would go on to lose to eventual champion, undefeated champion, I should add, South Carolina, 91-39 in the first round. But still a great season for Sharp and everyone there at Presbyterian, able to make the tournament for the first time. This season, the Mountaineers projected to finish 11th in the Sun Belt, according to the preseason poll. James Madison projected to win the conference. They received 12 first-place votes. Troy received the other 2 first-place votes and is projected to finish second. Some storylines coming into this one. It's the second edition of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge of both men's and women's basketball, the Rust Belt versus the Sun Belt. All the MAC schools tonight will be hosting the women's games, while the Sun Belt will be hosting the men's games tonight. And then in February, they will switch. February 8th on a Saturday, the MAC will host the men's games and the Sun Belt will host the women's games. But we do not know the matchups for those yet. Those will be decided in January based on the conference standing. So pretty cool idea to have teams play twice, and especially that second game in February in the midst of conference play will give those at the top, and I mean anyone in the conference, really a good challenge in the middle of the season. Ironically for Miami and App State, they'll be playing each other in the men's and women's games tonight. But they are not the only ones to do that. Eastern Michigan plays Texas State in both, as do Bowling Green and Southern Miss. So an interesting coincidence there. Second storyline for the RedHawks coming into tonight, just keeping up the momentum. Mentioned earlier, it wasn't a great year for the RedHawks, only went 9-20, but they did end the season going 5 for 5 over their last 10 games. So if they're able to keep up the momentum from the end of last season to beginning of this year, that'd be really huge for a RedHawks program with a young head coach in Glenn Box entering his second season. Storylines for the Mountaineers, I mentioned it earlier, new coach, and in this era with the transfer portal, with a new coach comes typically a new team, and that is no exception for Appalachian State as they bring in 8 new transfers to this year's roster from schools including Wingate, Salem College, Northeastern Junior College, Presbyterian, Utah Valley, George Washington, Idaho, as well as the College of Charleston. You compare it to Miami, they only have 3 transfers coming in to this season, but they also have 4 true freshmen, so a lot of new faces, a lot of new players for each of these squads. And another storyline for each of these teams, something interesting to know, a lot of international flair, a lot of international flavor. App State, they got players from Iceland, Croatia, Spain, and Australia on this year's team, and not to mention the U.S., obviously. In Miami, they're similar as well. They also have players from 5 different countries, including the U.S. RedHawks have players from Canada, Israel, Spain, and the Netherlands. So a lot of international flavor you'll see on the court tonight here at Millett Hall in Oxford, Ohio. We'll take a short break, and then on the other side, we'll bring you scores from across the MAC Sun Belt Challenge in men's and women's basketball, as well as top 25 scores from around the women's college basketball world. All that and more coming up next, listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Welcome back to Millett Hall. Brian Miller here with the Red Hawk Radio pregame show, bringing you scores from across the MAC Sun Belt Challenge here on the first night of the season in college basketball. Beginning with the women's scores, Northern Illinois beating Louisiana 57-55, a close first game in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. In action right now, Buffalo up 36-27 on Troy. About 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter in that one. Georgia State up 32-23 on Akron. About 3:40 left in the second in that one. Ball State and Old Dominion just getting started. About 3.5 minutes into that one, Ball State up 6-0. Texas State and Eastern Michigan, Bobcats up 6-4. About 4 minutes into that one. And then Coastal Carolina at Eastern Michigan, the Chippewas up 8-7 on the Chanticleers. About halfway through the first quarter in that one. And still to come in the women's ranks, Arkansas State at Western Michigan at 7. Also at 7 tonight, Marshall at Toledo. Georgia Southern at Ohio. James Madison at Kent State. And Southern Miss at Bowling Green. In the men's ranks for the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, the Miami RedHawks going to Boone to take on the App State Mountaineers. Just getting started in that one, about 3 minutes into the first half. App State up 6-5. And coming up at 7, pretty much everyone else. Western Michigan at Coastal Carolina. Toledo at Troy. Ohio at James Madison. That should be a pretty fun one. Northern Illinois at Georgia Southern. Buffalo at Old Dominion. Ball State at Georgia State. Kent State at Louisiana. Kent State, the only favored MAC school heading into tonight's games, but should be a lot of competitive games according to the sports books. Eastern Michigan at Texas State at 8 o'clock tonight. So was Central Michigan at South Alabama. Bowling Green at Southern Miss, as well as Akron at Arkansas State. Should be a good one there in Jonesboro, Arkansas. In scores across the top 25 in women's basketball. Already happening today over in Paris. USC Trojans, ranked 3rd in the country, beat the 20th ranked Ole Miss Rebels 68-66. Juju Watkins with 27 points and 10 rebounds in that one. Also in Paris, number 5 ranked UCLA beating the Louisville Cardinals 66-59. Lauren Betts, star center for the Bruins, 18 points and 13 rebounds in that one. Also, a lot of ranked teams dominating today already. Number 8, Iowa State beating Chicago State 96-56. Number 11, Duke beating Radford 89-36. Number 13, Kansas State beating Green Bay 92-45. Number 15, North Carolina beating Charleston Southern 83-53. Number 19, Florida State beating North Florida 119-49. And number 23, Nebraska beating Omaha 88-48. In action right now, number 6, Notre Dame taking on Mercyhurst Irish, dominating this one, winning 93-56 with 4:40 left in that one. Number 22 ranked Kentucky, first game for Kenny Brooks, and the Wildcats beating USC Upstate 86-41, about 5 minutes left in that one. Number 10 Oklahoma beating Southern 32-13, about 2 minutes left in the second in that. And number 24 Alabama beating New Orleans 47-19, about 3 minutes left in the half in that one. Still to come, number 18 Maryland at UMBC at 7. Also at 7, Brown at number 25 Indiana at 7:30. South Carolina looking to defend their title. They will be playing Michigan tonight in Las Vegas in the Hall of Fame series. That one will be on TNT and True TV. And number 7, LSU taking on Eastern Kentucky at 8 o'clock. Take a quick break, and then after the break, give you some players to watch tonight, as well as keys to the game. And then after that, tip-off on the new season, listening to Miami basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Welcome back to Oxford. A little under 8 minutes left until tip-off here to begin the season. Bring you some players to watch here. I'm your host, Bryan Miller, bringing you pregame, halftime, and postgame coverage here on RedHawk Radio. Begin with some players to watch on Appalachian State. Beginning with number 10, guard Emily Carter, 5'10" junior from Asheville, North Carolina. Was preseason first-team All-Sun Belt before this season. Averaged 13.5 points per game last season, which was second on the team and first among returners. Also averaged 4.4 rebounds a game and 1.8 assists per game last season. Led the team among qualified players, shooting 32.7% from three last year. Led App State in points in 7 games and led App State in rebounds in 3 different games last year. Scored double-digit points in 18 games last season. Surely would expect Carter to get the rock a lot tonight. Number 2 guard, Mora Neira, 5'8" senior from Spain. Transfer from Eastern Wyoming College and Presbyterian, the only Presbyterian player to follow her coach, Alora Sharp, to Boone to become a Mountaineer. Started all 30 games for Presbyterian last season, averaged 11.2 points per game and 4.4 rebounds a game, shot 31.3% from three, which led the team, and scored double-digit points in all 14 games. In 14 games last season, not all 14 games, but scored double digits in 14 games last season for Presbyterian. And number 15, forward Rylan Moffitt, 6-foot junior from Bushnell, Florida, transfer from Daytona State. Not her first year at the Mountaineers, no, though. Led App State with 8 rebounds a game, and total block shots, had 32 blocks last season. Moffitt shot 48.4% from the field and 60.7% from the free throw line last year, and had a career high 17 rebounds against College of Charleston in last year's game on December 5th. Some players to look at for the RedHawks, beginning with number 15, forward Amber Treader, 6'1" sophomore from Ferdinand, Indiana. All-MAC honorable mention last season for the RedHawks. Was also on the freshman All-MAC team. Treader averaged 10.3 points per game, second on the team and leading among returners. Averaged 7.7 rebounds a game as well, which also led the team. Treader's 222 total rebounds last season, among the highest freshman total in program history. Also had 10 double-doubles last season and averaged a little over 1 block a game, which was 4th in the MAC. Next, number 32 forward Katie Richardson, 6'1" junior from Zionsville, Indiana, played in 18 games and started 5 games last season for the RedHawks. Averaged 8.7 points per game, second among returners. Also averaged 5.7 rebounds a game, which was second on the team, only behind Treader. Scored in double figures 8 times last season. And last player to watch for Miami tonight, number 10 guard Maya Chandler, the 5'7" grad student from Martinsville, Indiana. Started her career at Loyola Chicago, played at SMU last season, and is now here for Miami. At Loyola Chicago, Chandler played in 87 games and started 79 of those. Was the Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year in 2020-2021, where she averaged 8.7 points per game and 2.8 rebounds a game. And then next season for the Ramblers, led the team with 10.6 points per game and averaged 10.7 as a junior. Then she transferred to Dallas at SMU, started 18 games for the Mustangs, where she averaged 5 points per game and 2 rebounds a game. So those were some of the players to look out for. What's one key to the game that we will be looking for tonight? There was definitely one that I noticed, and it will be a battle of pace. Very contrasting styles tonight between the Mountaineers and the RedHawks. Bart Torvik, which is a great website, by the way. This year they debuted ratings for women's basketball. They also do it for men's as well. Bart Torvik and Ken Palm, considered the leading analytics power ratings. You get a lot of info on tempo as well as offensive and defensive efficiency. But anyway, Bart Torvik doing that for women's college basketball as well this year. They have data from the past, I believe, 5 seasons and is updating them for this year's games as well. Anyway, Bart Torvik has App State listed as the 22nd quickest tempo in the country, according to their preseason ratings this year. Last year, the Mountaineers ranked 20th in tempo. But I will add, Presbyterian last season was 320th in tempo, meaning they go really, really slow. So I'm interested to see if Laura Sharp will continue to let the offense to go fast for the Mountaineers, or if they really slowed down the tempo, as she did with Presbyterian. On the Miami side, they're listed as 199th quickest tempo, so average to below average nationally. But no matter what, it will be a contrast of styles potentially, or it could be pretty similar. It could be a very slow, low-scoring game depending on what Sharp decides to do with the Mountaineers offense. I think the key for both these teams is to remain very efficient, as they won't have a lot of possessions potentially. At least we know they won't on the Miami side, as they like to go really slow. And if Miami is able to remain efficient, then that'll make it really hard for the Mountaineers. It really slows them down and gets them out of their comfort zone. Few minutes away from tip-off here. That should do it for the pregame coverage. I've been your host, Bryan Miller. We'll take a short break, and after that, starting lineups and tip-off from Millett Hall as the new season begins between the Appalachian State Mountaineers and Miami RedHawks. First night of the season, as well as the MAC Sun Belt Challenge Conference Supremacy on the line here at Millett Hall. Andrew Relvas and Sean Wiesemann will take you the rest of the way. I will be back here for halftime, listening to Miami basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome to Millett Hall. My name is Andrew Relvas, joined alongside Sean Wiesemann. College Hoops is back. It feels great to be back here. Start of November, and it is in full swings for College Hoops. We welcome you into tonight's RedHawk Radio presentation of Miami women's basketball. Tonight, the Miami RedHawks will host the Appalachian State Mountaineers in a MAC versus Sun Belt Conference Challenge, the first game of the season, beginning in Oxford. Appreciate you for tuning in and spending your Monday evening with us. The starters for both sides have been announced. For Miami, in the backcourt, it is Maya Chandler, the SMU transfer, Angelina Gonzalez, the Mercer transfer, along with Tamar Singer, making her first start as a freshman from Israel. Returning back for the RedHawks, and one of the most exciting players in the conference, Amber Treader. She's going to be playing at the forward position, and Io DeVries will be another freshman coming in to tonight's contest. So 2 freshmen in the starting lineup for Glenn Box. Meanwhile, for the Appalachian State Mountaineers, starting is a returning face in Emily Carver, who is a 2024 preseason All-Sun Belt first team selection. Right next to her is Zeta Porter, a returner as well, her 4th year at App State. Along with her is Mara Nira, who will come into tonight as a Presbyterian College transfer. After her, Asia Innes and Georgia Gray are the players for the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Sean, how does it feel to be back here in Millett Hall?
You can't be any more excited about today. It really is. A great start of another great season, and one that RedHawks fans should be certainly optimistic about. Returning a lot of new faces, but also a lot of familiar faces, and getting Amber Treader back was probably the biggest one. She was a double-double machine and a surprise snub from the preseason All-Mid-American Conference list, but it feels great to be back.
Going for Amber Treader, I'll kind of fire off some of her accolades last year. She was a All-MAC honorable mention, 2023 freshman All-MAC team, and she averaged 10.3, 7.7 rebounds, and 1.6 assists, along with a steal and a block. She really filled the stat sheets pretty much every game she was in the Miami uniform. These 2 teams, obviously first game of the season, but last year Appalachian State 17 and 15 overall, 9 and 9 in the Sun Belt Conference, which was 8th. They made the conference tournament, but they fell in a round 2 versus Marshall, a team that made the NCAA tournament. Meanwhile, for Miami last year, a little bit disappointing, but first year head coach Glenn Box, as he's getting announced right now, had a tough task to kind of rebuild this RedHawks team, and he brought them to a 6-12 record in the MAC, and Miami looking to qualify for a MAC tournament. Haven't made it in some time. Last made it in 2019. Once again, we appreciate you for tuning in and spending your Monday with us. The excitement is brewing here in the arena. Decent Millett Hall crowd here, but as the season continues to develop, we'll likely see a lot more fans come in here at Millett Hall. Miami, they're wearing their home whites with red Miami across the chest, red numbering, white shorts and red stripes. Meanwhile, Appalachian State black and gold with App State across the chest and white numbering. App State wins the tip, and they will move from right to left. Searching left is Asia Innes, but she is hounded immediately there by Tamar Singer. Here's Zeta Porter, a bounce pass down low, looking for McCrary, doesn't have her. Dump back right side, a mid-range jumper. Marinera comes up empty, rebounded by Porter, and they continue to control possession. Back up top on the left wing is McCrary. She bounces left. Here's Zeta Porter under the cup, searching for a wide open Mountaineer. Innes comes up empty, rebounded by Gonzalez. Here comes the RedHawks off to the races. Angelina Gonzalez, the Mercer transfer, will wait for the offense to develop. Passing left to DeVries. DeVries has an SMU transfer in Maya Chandler. in the left corner. Back over Gonzalez behind her, and she stepped out of bounds. Turnover Gonzalez right back to the Mountaineers.
You know, Andrew, something we're going to need to keep an eye on is the chemistry between all these new faces starting. 4 starters that are new for this RedHawks program. A good infusion of talent, but that's also going to present some challenges in terms of chemistry. You're going to want to see defensive switches and passing being a real focal point for Glenn Box's squad here today.
Porter left side, down low, Carver. She bounces back up top to Myra Nira. Myra Nira goes right, Presbyterian College transfer. Tough layup off the right hand, hit back rim, rebounded by Treader, and here comes Gonzalez racing down the other timeline. Gonzalez pressed down low on the right side, bounces back up top. Here is Tamar Singer, right-handed layup falls short. Big rebound and a foul. McCrary corralled it. This is going to go against Miami. Scoreless so far, about a minute and 30 have passed so far, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, as we've seen, it's been a little bit of a slugfest so far early, but a lot of contested shots for both teams, and it's created a slugfest, as I just said.
This is Emily Carver coming into the paint. She's fouled immediately there by Io DeVries. And this will be 2 free throws coming up, a pair for Emily Carver. Substitution here for Appalachian State. It's Emily Hagee. First free throw from Carver. Hits back rim, hits front, and can't fall. Still 0-0.
You know, looking up and down this roster, Laura Sharp, the head coach of the App State Mountaineers, has compiled a ton of experience. You see 9 grad transfers and seniors on this roster, so a lot of faces with a lot of experience here against this RedHawks squad today.
Second free throw missed. Miami was moving in transition pretty well, but a pass deflected out of bounds off of, looks like Hagee, and it'll be Miami inbound on the right side. Inbound Treader to Gonzalez. Back up top. Here is Tamar Singer. Right side corner tray for Gonzalez is off the mark. Rebounded back the other way by Emily Carver. 2 minutes have passed. Still scoreless. Here's Zeta Porter left side. Hagee near corner. Thought about a 3. Bounces back up top left wing here for Zeta Porter. Porter defended well by DeVries. Here comes Porter down the lane, and she is fouled. Now they're gonna call this an offensive foul. So turnover Appalachian State, right back go the RedHawks. Wow, what a sequence of events, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. And for DeVries, who's, I mean, really, this is her first collegiate experience, getting that kind of defensive intensity from a freshman starting her first career NCAA basketball game. Really impressive stuff right there.
RedHawks last year lacked a lot of size, and
absolutely they did.
Coach Box was busy in the recruiting phase, adding a 6'3" forward to pair with Amber Treader, who is 6'1". So a lot of height. RedHawks trying to exploit the mismatches. Here's Angelina Gonzalez, right wing, trying to shake her defender, Asia Innes. Left-handed layup, falls short. Battle for the board, rebounded up top. Tamar Singer has it. She cooks left over Angelina Gonzalez. Gonzalez, reverse layup, left hand, it falls. First basket of the game goes to Gonzalez. RedHawks up 2-0 here in the first.
Love to see that early defensive, offensive explosion there from Gonzalez. Really crafty ball handling there and able to get the bucket.
Innes, pass was deflected there. Some nice pressure from Singer and a foul on her. We'll stop the clock at 7:05 here in the first. Coach Box in a few preseason interviews talked about how this team can really be one of the fastest teams in the MAC.
Yeah.
And they're definitely playing with some purpose here.
You notice a lot of the players that they got out of the portal and that they brought back are shooters. They have a lot of shooting on the floor right now, and they have a lot of shooting on the bench. They will be a team that should be able to offensively compete with a lot of teams in the Mid-American and across the country.
Now checking in is Camille Jackson, a Power 5 transfer from Illinois. Deflected a pass out of bounds, stays with the Mountaineers. The inbound, it'll be Emily Carver. Coming in now is Nuria Herho, returning for our second season in a Miami uniform. Carver on the far inbound finds Asia Innes. Hounded immediately there by Nuria Herho. Down low, here's McCrary. Working against Treader, kicks it out right side, a right wing three. Hedgie comes up empty, back rim, battle for the board, rebounded by Treader, and the RedHawks get a stop here.
The defensive structure that Glenn Box has employed so far has forced a lot of tough threes. Speaking of threes,
straight away three there from Treader is good, and the RedHawks are up 5-0 here in the first. Miami trying to get some more stops. Here's Hedgie, thought about a three, kicks left side. Carver, corner three, no, rebounded under the cup. Tough basket and in. Marinera gets the Mountaineers' first points of the season. It's 5-2.
I'm sure Glenn Box can't be too upset about the defensive intensity on that possession too, given they were closing out incredibly hard on that and they were doing everything they could. Just a great shot from App State.
Urho to the rim, she's fouled, and she will get a pair coming up.
The foul was committed by the Mountaineers' number 2, Marinera. That's her first.
This team as well for App State. It's a team that has only one freshman on the roster.
Yeah.
Coming in right now for App State.
It's kind of a transitioning phase here. New head coach Lara Sharp in her first season after spending some time at Presbyterian College. Got the Blue Hose to the NCAA tournament last season.
Actually won a game against Radford before getting their butts kicked by South Carolina, as pretty much every other team in the country does.
A pair here for Nuria Herho. Her first is pure for Herho last season. 2.4 points, 2.3 rebounds, and 1.7 assists, shooting 53% at the free throw line.
You know, having her back along with, like I said, there's a lot of faces who came back this season, 7 to be exact. Getting her back was a really big get for Glenn Box. She's got a lot of potential and hope that she can improve this season.
Corner three from Carver is off on the far side, rebounded left side by Treader. RedHawks have it right back. Maya Chandler working against Inish. She feeds down low, tough basket off the glass and too far from Treader, rebounded back by the Mountaineers.
Glenn Box a little displeased with that shot selection, a kind of off-balance shot right there from Treader.
Far wing three came up empty. Back the other way comes the Mountaineers. They keep the possession alive.
I'll tell you, App State is not afraid to get a shot up quick if they think they have something.
Pass from Moffitt down low inside to Innis, and that'll be a travel. So turnover on the Mountaineers. Kind of a sloppy first half of this first quarter for App State.
You know, as you can see, I mean, they've already rotated 8. They have 8 different people who have gotten minutes already, and I imagine that number will only continue to increase as the first quarter gets to the halfway mark here. A lot of experience on this team.
Checking in now, Katie Rashassin, returning for her 4th season in a Miami uniform. Top key, there's Tamar Singer. Straight away, near corner three from Herho is good. RedHawks up 10-2 here in the first.
Wonderful shot, but also great pass there to set that up for a great Miami three.
Asia Innis, right-handed layup, too far wide, rebounded by Camille Jackson. The RedHawks have it the other way. Near corner three, back-to-back, Herho trying to go 2 for 2, she can't, and picked up back. That's Rylan Moffitt, the top rebounding returner for App State last season. Far corner, Ingram. Back up top, here's Asia Innis on the left wing. Some nice pressure there from Rashassin, picked up by Herho. Down low, Angelina Gonzalez nearly deflected that one. Ingram, her pass is wide, searching for, I believe that's Moffitt, and that'll be out of bounds. Back to the RedHawks.
Looks like Moffitt got tied up a little bit there on the inbounds, the entry pass there, and it just went right out of bounds.
We've reached immediate timeout. Our score 10-2 here in the first quarter. 4:20 the time left to go. We will take a break here from Millett Hall. Thank you so much for tuning in to Miami women's basketball. Stay with us here on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at Millett Hall in nice Oxford, Ohio weather just at the beginning of November. Andrew Relvas alongside Sean Wiesemann. Miami women's basketball currently ahead 10-2 on top of App State. Sean, what have you liked from the RedHawks so far?
Well, I mean, considering the fact that this team plays remarkably fast, they have been able to force up a lot of not great shots from App State. It seems like the Allura Sharps team is just kind of going up the court and just kind of throwing up the first thing they see and not really waiting for a good shot to materialize. That's something that's been really good to see.
Pass from DeVries inside to Rashassan, and this is going to be a turnover on Miami. To be a travel, and ball goes back to the Mountaineers.
It's like a full court press here that they're going to employ.
App State has been doing this all evening long, and so does Miami, flipping back their cards. Tight pressure here. Glenn Box known for his pressure at Indiana. Back up top, Asia Innes right at the big red M near half court. Trying to find the right option, shot clock at 10. Bounce pass left side,
beautiful defense there
by Herho. Here come the RedHawks, off to the races. Passing left side, back up top, Io DeVries, straightaway three, right rim, no. And picked up by Ingram. Ingram down low, Rylan Moffitt off the mark there.
Another
picked up by
contested shot right there, forced by Miami.
Picked up by Herho. Near corner three is off the mark. That was Maya Chandler, the SMU transfer, still searching for her first bucket. On the right side, this is Emily Hedgie. She goes back up top on the far right wing to Ingram. Innes. And this is going to be a foul on Miami.
Maybe it's just me, Andrew, but it certainly seems like every single shot that the Mountaineers have tried to put up has been with at least 15 on the shot clock. I mean, it seems like that is a real key for Sharp, is to keep striking early in the shot clock. And although it has been to their detriment so far, it certainly creates a very explosive, potentially explosive offensive performance here from App State.
Shamani Ingram, the inbound, to Innes. Asia Innes passes right down low under the cup to McCrary. Here's Emily Carver, and she is swarmed by a pair of RedHawks, Gonzalez and Chandler. They force the turnover.
Really good defense there from the RedHawks. Every single drive to the basket, there have been at least 2 RedHawks waiting for the driver to contest the shot, and that's something you really like to see. And it hasn't just been, kind of, sort of. I mean, they are really all over the Mountaineers.
Force the turnover. Now let's see if the RedHawks can get some dividends being paid. Free throw jumper for Gonzalez is good. RedHawks up 12-2. Just outside of the free throw line, the Mercer transfer leading the scoring, or second in the scoring rather, with 4. Mountaineers trailing by 10. Pass is out of bounds. That was missed opportunity there. Asia Innes turning the ball over, going right back to the RedHawks here. 2:17, 12-10, 12-2, the RedHawks leading.
I mean, we knew coming into this that this team could play defense. That's not a surprise. That was Glenn Bach's specialty as an assistant at Indiana. But it's been very surprising to see an App State team with some shooters on the team and some real experience going 0 for 6 from 3.
Far box mid-range jumper from Gonzalez came up empty, rebounded by Porter. An open chance. Pericic tries the near corner three. No, rebounded right under the rim by Ingram. Battle for the ball down low, and this is going to be off of App State out of bounds, back to Miami.
Boy, that is some physicality to make sure App State was not able to get the ball from going out of bounds, because they're just battling down low tonight so far, and that'll be a great something to keep an eye on continuing for App State here.
Tamar Singer orchestrating the offense. She has Maya Chandler, who circles around on the right side all the way left side. Now Angelina Gonzalez passing down low. Io DeVries right-handed.
What
layup.
a drop step.
Counted and a foul. Send her to the free throw line. RedHawks up 14-2.
I mean, This is about as good of a start as you can ask for if you're a RedHawk fan. Not only are they getting on the board, they are not letting App State get anything going whatsoever.
Ryo de Vries, the freshman from the Netherlands, sinks the free throw, converts the three-point play. Miami's up 15-2. Those were also our first buckets in a Miami uniform.
Hopefully first of many as a freshman here, and you love to see that multiple freshmen now and getting some, not only some extended playing time early, but more than doing their part.
Emily Carver defended well by Chandler. Back up top, Zeta Porter down low looking for McCrary. Ball tapped around, and that's out of bounds off of McCrary. Another turnover on App State. We've seen a ton of those, Sean.
Yeah, like I mean, I can continue to say it. They are just absolutely crashing the boards and making sure that Zeta Porter has nowhere to go. She's obviously, for the 3 minutes that Zeta Porter's been on the floor, it feels like every single pass she's gotten, she's been swarmed by multiple people. Obviously a big part of Glenn Box's game plan, and that's even at the expense of some open threes here that they've thankfully missed.
7 turnovers so far for App State, shooting 1 for 12. Miami's up 15-2. Bounce down low, another bounce. Rashawson under the cup, can't connect, but a foul on App State's. Looks like it's McCrary, so this will be a pair of free throws coming up for Katie Rashawson.
That's about as good a passing job you can ask for if you're Glenn Box. 2 very good passes, find the open person, and even though Rashawson wasn't able to bank it home, she's able to get some free throws.
Shawson's first free throw hits back iron and in. Shot 74% from the charity stripe last season. Missed part of last year with an injury. She sinks both of them, and Miami is up 17-2. 5 for 5 at the free throw line so far tonight is Miami. Great shooting numbers so far, 5 for 14 from the floor.
It looks like, oh boy.
Inbound pass that was looking for Mountaineers. No one was there for App State. This one's going to go right back to the RedHawks in the App State zone. Some miscommunication.
And it looks like App State's just looking for anything right now. Coach Sharp is clearly, I mean, they've rotated 10 different bodies in the first 9 minutes. They're clearly looking for something to stick offensively here for Mountaineers.
So it'll be an inbound on the near side. Amber Treader goes immediately a chest pass to Maya Chandler. Around left side wing for Rashawson. Back to Treader. A near corner 3 for Gonzalez. Good! RedHawks up 20-2 here in the first.
For a game that I think almost everybody at home would have guessed, just looking at it, all the baseline stats and stuff, you would have guessed this is a close game. A 20-2 performance. This is as good as it gets.
Samantha LaFawn checking in now. Going right side to Sanea Martinez.
Glenn
Martinez
Box preaching some energy here for the defense.
Right-handed layup falls for the Mountaineers. Second field goal from Asia Innes.
Looks like it's going to be the final shot of the quarter here.
Shot clock is dark. RedHawks trying to end the first quarter on a positive note. Maya Chandler searching for her first Miami bucket. Right corner 3 to end it, and it's good! RedHawks up 23-4. A near wing 3 connected by Miami's.
Looks like that was Tamar Singer.
Tamar Singer. Miami ends the first quarter up 23-4, shooting 7 for 16 and making 4 3-pointers. What a first quarter of the first season, Sean.
Boy, I hope every first quarter goes like that for the RedHawks. That is perfect execution offensively and defensively, basically. I mean, shooting 44%, including 4 from 8 for 3, and then on top of that, only allowing 4 points to a very veteran-laden App State team. Very impressive stuff, especially for a team that wants to get up a lot of shots like App State does. Very, very impressive stuff for the RedHawks.
We'll take a break. The RedHawks up 23-4 after one. Stay with us. Miami looking to get their first win on the season. See if they can do it here on Red Hawk Radio. We're back here at Millett Hall. Crowd starting to file in here, home of the Miami RedHawks. Miami up 23-4. Andrew Relvas alongside Sean Wiesemann. Sean, couldn't ask for more of a better first quarter than that. RedHawks.
No, I mean, this is pedal to the metal for Glenn Box's squad. They have started like they're, I mean, it looks seamless. The amount of new faces, and yet they've all looking like they're meshing together. As I said, okay, never mind. But they look delightful though.
Singer has Treader on the right wing. Now gives it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez back right side. Chandler, this is going to be, looks like a moving screen offensive foul. Ball will return back to the Mountaineers.
I mean, the depth of this Miami squad, too, is something that we were talking about at the break. You know, you're not even seeing people who played a lot last season, like people like Patricia Edwards and Corey Lard. Neither of them have even played at all. And Hennessy Lou Brown, same deal. I mean, and those are all people who's played significant minutes for this squad last season.
Zeta Porter working against Io DeVries. Switch back up, Treader. Porter, right-handed floater, falls short. And this goes out of bounds off of, looks like it's combination of DeVries and Chandler. Stays with the Mountaineers.
I'll also say that DeVries gives them a new size element. They didn't really have somebody other than Jaden Scott last season who could really guard the post like they have in DeVries, and she's 6'3", so that gives them a real element that they've been lacking in previous years.
Got a foul here on Miami.
The team's second.
Foul on Maya Chandler. Another inbound coming here. This one out of bounds off of Miami. Asian Innes searching for. Mountaineer comes up empty, stays. App State possession here on the near timeline. This will be an inbound right side looking for Porter. She puts up a shot, comes up empty. Rebound by Carver. She's fouled immediately there. And looks to be a shooting foul coming up. No, it'll stay on the floor.
Obviously, you don't want the foul, but I'm sure Glenn Box is loving the defensive intensity from the RedHawks so far.
Innes A right wing three is good from Marinera. And App State gets their first three-point field goal of the game, 23-7.
And that was an NBA range level three-pointer.
Some sloppy possession there. A turnover by Tamar Singer out of bounds. Back to App State. 23-7, RedHawks up 16. App State trying to have a little run here. Emily Carver wide open, near corner threes off. Rebounded by DeVries. The RedHawks take it back the other way. Far court, Angelina Gonzalez, and she is fouled. It'll go against App State and stop the clock at 8:44.
Gonzalez has been the surprising. I knew she could score, averaging 11 points a game at Mercer, but it's been surprising to see with the volume in which she's been shooting too. She's already put up 6 shots for the RedHawks, and given that you already had an established #1 scorer in Amber Treader, that's certainly an interesting thing to see, to have a very good, potentially #1 scorer in Gonzalez.
Down the lane, beautiful feed to Treader from Singer. That's a foul on App State. Send Treader to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, having more offensive versatility probably hasn't hurt anybody here, and having multiple #1 scoring options is certainly something the RedHawks would love to have, given the lack of offense that they were having in stretches last season, especially when Treader went down for a couple games.
Amber Treader at the line for 2. She makes the first one. Shot 76% from the free throw line last year. Don't really see a lot of forward shooting those numbers.
Yeah, Richardson shooting 74% from the line last year too. There's a lot of good shooting on this team now with the transfers.
So Treader goes perfect at her trip. And Miami's up 16, 23-7. Full court pressure once again from Box's RedHawks. Zeta Porter passes right side to Asia Innes. This will be a foul on Camille Jackson checking in now.
Yeah, Jackson a little too handsy there. Really good aggression there, but just not quite. A little too much aggression.
So foul on Camille Jackson stops it at 8:26. It'll be an inbound far side for Zeta Porter. Zeta Porter. Back, Asia Innes. Same spot as she was last time. Innes working against Singer. Passes right, Porter. Back right side, Jamani Ingram. Tough shot, and she is fouled.
Finally able to get a one-on-one down low, and obviously the Mountaineers weren't able to take advantage, but I'm sure that's the kind of look that App State is looking for.
So Ingram fouled, and she will go to the line, searching for her first points of the season. Last year, Ingram averaged 5.9 points per game while shooting 76% from the free throw line. Comes up empty after that one bounced a few times off.
App State just 3 of 17 and 1 of 9 from 3. Definitely not their best performance shooting today thus far.
She splits the trip, making 1 for 2, and it's 25-8. RedHawks on top. Tamar Singer waving everyone off, trying to get a screen from Treader. Treader tries a 3, right wing. Yes!
Beautiful.
Another 3 from Amber Treader. She's got 8. And the RedHawks are up 28-8 here in the second.
A little bit of trickery there. Singer looking like she wanted an ISO and then dumping it off to Treader for a great 3.
Jamani Ingram trying to split the tree. She can't. Amber Treader took that one away. RedHawks working in transition. Here comes the shifty Herho. Has a wide open Singer who goes to the lane. Right-handed floater falls up short. Rebounded by Innes. App State gets back to work.
Another good shot, even though it's a miss. That's great passing from the RedHawks.
Emily Carver. Left side, Zeta Porter. Porter showing off the moves, and this will be a foul on Miami. Amber Treader will get the foul close to being an offensive foul, but looks like she was just outside of the restricted area. Excuse me, inside of it.
Heading to the line to shoot 2 for App State.
So, looked like it would be on the floor.
Yeah, they were a little confused whether it's on the floor or if it's a shooting foul. Looks like it's a shooting foul, though.
Everyone's confused here, and
Well, it's just the first game. That's
First
just how it
game.
goes. We'll just attribute it to that.
so it'll be a shooting foul from Treader. A pair coming up here for Zeta Porter. Senior from Roanoke, Virginia, shot 88% from the free throw line last year. Led the team. This is the first one wide left.
I mean, you could tell it is not App State shooting when your best free throw shooter, the person shooting almost 90%, misses their first free throw.
But midway home here in the second quarter, Porter misses them both. Grabs her own rebound, though, and this one goes out of bounds off of her.
And you see Lou Brown with a smile on her face is talking a little smack to the App State players over there.
So it's Miami basketball. Amber Treader inbounds to Tamar Singer, who has really been shifty today. She has shown off a lot of explosivity. Finds Katie Rashassan back left wing to Nuria Herho, native of Barcelona. Top corner, here's Tamar Singer, dump inside, right-handed layup, rolls around and in. Rashassan connects, it's 38. RedHawks on top.
It's that extra pass that the RedHawks are making. It's continued to pay dividends for them.
And a timeout will be taken by App State here. Stops the clock at 6:43 here in the second. Miami up 30-8, and we'll keep it here. We'll talk a little bit about this game so far. Sean, this is just a night and day performance. You know, last year it was a big difference. The RedHawks didn't have many of these fast starts. It was a lot of kind of slower tempo basketball, but a much different story this season in year 2 with Glenn Box.
No, you're right. The style last season was very much a grinded out 53-51 style game. Wasn't always the most aesthetically pleasing, but they had to do it with a lack of offensive production. Now they have the offense, and it seems like Glenn Box wants to move this thing up and down the court. Both programs want to move the ball up and down, as it turns out, and they have the shooting to do it. App State hasn't shown they have the shooting to match the RedHawks yet.
Sean, obviously we've seen a lot of new faces here. If you had to pick one who's looked the best, who would it be?
Definitely Gonzalez. She's played really, really well, and the fact that she's already in 12 minutes already got a couple rebounds, 3 assists. She's playing really well, and I've been very impressed with somebody who, going into this, I wasn't really expecting to be as high of a scorer as she's been, and shooting at as much volume as she has, with 7 points already leading the team.
Take a look at the stats so far. Miami shooting 47% from the floor, 5 for 9 from 3, 55%. And they are perfect from the free throw line, 7 for 7. Meanwhile, App State, night and day, big difference. 3 for 17 from the floor. That's just a tick over 17%. 1 for 9 from 3, and 1 for 6 from the free throw line. Leading scorers so far is Mara Nira with 5 points, 2 for 4 from the floor. Meanwhile, for Miami, 2 players over 5, Amber Treader with 8, and Angelina Gonzalez with 7. In case you were wondering what brought Angelina Gonzalez to Miami, her sister's actually on the team. Ciol Gonzalez, one of the 4 freshmen on this team, she said really it was the family atmosphere that brought her to Miami.
And now it's even more of a family atmosphere with the sister on the team. That's awesome.
It's really great to see the RedHawks back in action. Despite the score, it feels good to be back here at Millett Hall.
Absolutely. And just quickly before as the timeout's about to expire here, it's good to see it's not as much seniors and juniors who are doing some of the producing. It's freshmen and sophomores who are quite a large portion of the scoring and the production today. And that bodes well not just for the now, but for Glenn Box's teams in the future.
Miami boasting 8 underclassmen. Returned also 7 players, so.
Yeah, they only lost 1 person to the portal this entire season. The rest were graduates who they had to replace. So really impressive stuff for the continuity of the core here.
On the inbound, far corner three bounces up and around, picked up by Angelina Gonzalez, and the RedHawks are running down the timeline. Gonzalez, great dribbler, feeds on the right side to Amber Treader. Treader working against Pericic, moving left, moving right, ton of pivots. Her layup comes up short and picked up by the Mountaineers, Zeta Porter.
That was a good shot from Treader, too. I mean, contested, nevertheless, but still not a bad shot. And I'm sure Glenn Box will take that shot any day.
Asia Ennis has left side. Jamani Ingram down low. Elena Pericic, and she is fouled. It'll be a shooting foul, which will send her to the line for a pair.
The personal foul committed by Miami's number 17, Nuria Herho, her second.
Foul on Nuria Herho, the Barcelona native. Will be 2 free throws for Elena Pericic. Pericic, junior from Croatia. First free throw from her rattles home, and it's 30-9. She shot 75% from the free throw line for the Salem Tigers, a Division II school in West Virginia. Second free throw is good, and it is 30-10. RedHawks up by 20. Sean, this App State team has a ton of transfers. You've got Ennis, transferred from George Washington, Pericic, transferred from Salem, among others.
Yeah, it was obvious for Coach Sharp for App State here that they needed a complete overhaul of the roster. A team that barely finished above 500 last season and lost a lot of production from last season. They really needed some new faces, and so she hit the portal very hard, as evidenced by the 9 graduates and seniors on the roster.
Miami basketball in the App State timeline. Here is Camille Jackson, who traveled there. Pass from Tamar Singer. Turnover on Miami.
I think it's interesting that they're intermittently using this press and not really letting App State get a clean run down the floor here.
Camille Jackson down the lane. She lost the ball. Goes off of Miami.
That's Corey Lard. Textbook Corey Lard intensity right there. Diving for the ball right there.
Corey Lard was number 4 in the MAC last year in steals. Yeah. Averaged about 2 a game. And checking in for her first time.
That's her bread and butter, and I'm sure that's why they have her out there right now. Is they asked her to be more of a scorer this year, but I'm sure with a lot more offensive production on the floor consistently that they'll ask her to be the defensive stopper here.
An inbound here. Ennis has Emily Hedgie. This one off the mark, rebounded under the cup, right-handed layup, in and out from Carver. Still yet to be in the scoring column, and Miami will work
the
it
ball
the other
all
way.
over the place here a little bit.
Sloppy possession, turnover on Miami. Gonzalez, here comes Porter to the cup, left-handed layup, falls short.
Beautiful defense.
Rebounded by Jackson, out goes Angelina Gonzalez, 1-on-2. Gonzalez, right-handed layup, no. Rebounded by DeVries, under the cup, able to clean it up. Miami's up 32-10.
What a great run there. DeVries with the stop at the defensive end. Great job going straight up on it, and then a putback for the 2.
Far wing 3 from Marinera is money, and it's 32-13. Marinera leading the scoring for the Mountaineers, 8. Only 3 other players in the scoring column so far for App State. Far corner 3, Gonzalez, hit back rim, no. Battle for the board, and this will be a foul on Camille Jackson, a loose ball. Goes back to the Mountaineers.
Camille Jackson's feels like heard her name all over the place thus far, and primarily on the defensive end, although she does have a couple rebounds as well. I mean, but she has just been such a presence, it feels like, on the defensive side of things, you know, just constantly being so physical, so tough with the opposition, and it's really shown in the score column so far.
App State in the bonus, so this will be free throws for Pericic. She misses the first one. Shot 75% at Salem at the free throw line. Misses the first, trying to salvage the trip. Second free throw, banks in, and it is 32-14. RedHawks up 18.
Miami's number 10, Maya Chandler, comes back into the game.
Maya Chandler returning back in for Corey Lard. This RedHawks team, unlike last year, a lot deeper. They've got really a 10 to 12 player rotation. RedHawks fortunate.
Which is interesting too, because 11 people have entered the game for App State too. So it's two very deep, balanced rosters going head to head here.
Tamar Singer, passes deflected, picked up by the Mountaineers. Porter, Marinera, far wing three, no. Right under the rim is Porter, able to pick it up. Missed the layup, picked up right back by Chandler, and the RedHawks will move it the other way. Gonzalez thought about a three, comes in down low, pressed well by Nera. Up top, going to the lane, and a foul on, looks like DeVry's offensive foul.
I thought they were going to call a travel on her initially, because I think either one would have been
Looked like
applicable,
that.
but the offensive foul getting called there on DeVry's.
Checking in as well, Amber Treader. So the RedHawks bringing the size. The pair 6'3" and 6'1" respectively. Big mismatch here. Here's Hedgie circling around, defended by Chandler. Passes left over Emily Carver. Leading scorer returning back for the Mountaineers this season. Carver, back left side is Innes. Here's a near wing three from Carver, comes up short. Can't hit the cords, and it stays 32-14. 3 minutes and 15 left to go, Miami up 18. Gonzalez left side, Maya Chandler. Chandler, a free throw jumper, flangs back iron, rebounded under the rim. Treader able to clean it up off the rim and in. Banks open on a Monday. RedHawks up 34-14. Timeout, Miami.
I'll tell you, with 23 combined three-point attempts in the first 17 minutes, it just shows you the kind of pace that we're looking at here tonight. And obviously, the threes have been falling a little bit easier for Miami, with 5 for 10 for Miami, just 2 for 13 for App State. But regardless, it certainly shows that both teams want to get the three ball going frequently. And Coach Box wasn't really able to do a whole lot of that last season. He didn't really have very many three-point shooters. In fact, he had just one three-point shooter who shot over 30% last season. So the fact that they're able to get multiple really quality shooters out on the floor at the same time not only creates more room for people like Richardson and Treader down low and DeVries, it also makes it easier gets them better shots from better shooters.
Quick timeout, and we're back to play here in Millett Hall. 3:04 left to go. RedHawks up 34-14. 20-point advantage.
App State having trouble getting up the court here.
Pressure continues to curl by Miami. Full court pressure. A Glenn Box staple. Down the lane, Emily Hedgie. And this is an offensive foul. Running over Treader. Thrilled for that one. Turnover on App State. Treader as well is a player that Coach Box was talking about, really improved during the offseason.
Which is
She
scary.
got a lot quicker and a lot stronger.
Yeah, which is scary because she was an honorable mention all-MAC, like you mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast here.
Katie Richardson. Near corner, pass is intercepted, searching for Singer. Here comes Innes to the cup, able to hit the layup off of the fast break, and it's 34-16.
For a coach up 18, Glenn Box does not look very happy with the way that just happened right now. And I can't say I blame him. He's got a little bit of a Joe Burrow intensity to him.
Maya Chandler now finds Katie Richardson. Left-handed layup blocked by Porter, or rather Pericic. And the Mountaineers working quickly the other way. Zeta Porter defended by Singer. This is a right wing three. It's good from Asia Innes, and the Miami RedHawks lead cut to 16.
Yeah, she could have sang a little ditty in the amount of time that she had for that three. Goodness gracious.
15-point lead, 34-19. Pass on the right side, Angelina Gonzalez. She goes down low. Amber Treader defended well by McCreary. Treader trying to thread the needle. She can't. Taken away by App State. They get another stop. They get into 20 points now. Turnover from Porter. She was searching for Innes, and this will go out of bounds back to Miami. Much better quarter here for App State, though, in the second. 15 points compared to the 4 in the first.
Yeah, they're actually outscoring Miami in the quarter 15-11, so certainly waking up a little bit offensively for Mountaineers.
Minute 15 left to go. RedHawks up by 15. On the right side, near wing three is off the mark for Maya Chandler. Still yet to see any points for her fall down. Asia Innes lost the ball, picked up by Gonzalez. She grabs a steal, and the RedHawks force another stop. Chandler, left side, switching around. Angelina Gonzalez up top. Angelina Gonzalez down the lane, comes up short. This will go out of bounds off of McCreary, so it stays with Miami.
Angelina Gonzalez is just fearless attacking the dish. I mean, she just goes with a full head of steam. Doesn't matter who's in her way. She's going to get a shot up one way or another.
Third foul on App State, so this will just stay on the floor for Miami. Under a minute left to play, 40 seconds. RedHawks potentially looking to double up here. Top of the key, Angelina Gonzalez. Straight away three, Treader.
Just off the mark.
In and out off the mark, picked up by Porter and the Mountaineers. Marinera holding things up, passes straight away to Zeta Porter. Shot clock is dark here.
App State looks a little confused offensively here.
McCreary, left side, Sanea Martinez. Back right side, Elena Pericic. Under 10 left to play, shot clock dark. A three from the far wing, it's good from Marinera. She's got 11. And it's 34-22. That ends the second quarter. Kind of a tough way to end it if you're a Miami fan. Marinera sank two late threes to end the quarter in favor of App State. 18-11, they finished it. And Miami only up by 12 now after the first quarter where they were dominating.
Certainly not the ending you wanted given the great first quarter they had, but certainly something a lot to be happy about too, given the fact that they, even with the great second quarter they had, App State's only shooting 4 of 15 from 3, which is something they want to get a lot of threes up. And so seeing that is certainly something that Glenn Box can point to as a real positive for the RedHawks.
Score at the half, 34-22. The RedHawks on top of the Mountaineers, but this is starting to become a good one here at Millett Hall after a dominant first quarter. We'll hand it over to Bryan Miller for our RedHawk Radio halftime report, and we will be back here for the third quarter in over 15 minutes. Thanks so much for tuning in to Miami women's basketball, and we will hand it over to Bryan Miller for the halftime report here at RedHawk Radio.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Sean. At half, RedHawks up 34-22 on the Mountaineers of Appalachian State. I am your host, Bryan Miller. You're listening to the halftime report here on RedHawk Radio. Opening game of the season. Miami off to a blazing start. I really couldn't ask for much more in the first quarter from Miami. Up 23-4 after the first quarter. Almost a perfect half from the RedHawks. Shot 7 for 16 from the field, 43.8 percentage, and 4 for 8 from the three-point line, 50% from three. You'll take that all the time if you're Miami. App State 0 for 7 from the three-point line, so pretty much opposite styles from both teams in the first quarter. And the turnovers as well. App State 8 turnovers in the first quarter. Miami only 2. But things started to turn around a little bit for App State in the second quarter. Outscored Miami 18-11 and went on a 12-2 run the last 5 minutes of the quarter. So App State really started to pick it up there. Miami will really need to keep playing good defense and try to prevent App State from getting hot from 3. App State 4 for 8 from the three-point line in the second quarter, so starting to end their cold streak a little bit are the Mountaineers. Also much better from free throws. They went 4 for 8, which doesn't sound great, but they were not able really to get to the free throw line in the first quarter. Only got 2 free throws and missed both of them, so much better performance from App State in the second quarter, and especially the back half of the second quarter, and have kept themselves within reach as they're only down 12 at half against Miami. We'll take a quick break, and then on the other side, we'll bring you scores from around the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. Men's basketball team currently up on the Mountaineers, 52-45. Bring you scores from around the challenge up next, as well as top 25 scores around the women's basketball world. All that and more coming up on the other side, listening to Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at Millett Hall, RedHawks up 34-22 on the App State Mountaineers. Now bring you scores from across the MAC Sun Belt Challenge on pretty much everyone. Well, yeah, everyone in the MAC in action tonight. First night of the college basketball season. Feels like Christmas Day for us hardcore college basketball fans. Already today, Northern Illinois beating Louisiana 57-55. Everyone else in action right now, beginning with Buffalo, up 5 on Troy, 70-65. About 8.5 minutes left in that one. Akron able to come back and beat Georgia State. They're up 75-68 on the Panthers. About a minute left in that one. Ball State up 47-37 on Old Dominion. Last 2 minutes of the third quarter there. Eastern Michigan up 58-52 on Texas State. About a minute and a half left in the third in that. Central Michigan up 42-33 on Coastal Carolina. Arkansas State up 30-24 at Western Michigan at halftime there. Marshall, the Thundering Herd, up 30-19 on Toledo. About 3 minutes left in the half there. Georgia Southern up 36-31 on Ohio. About a minute 40 left in the half there. James Madison up 31-23 on Kent State at halftime. And also at half, Bowling Green up 35-31 on Southern Miss. In the men's basketball challenge, the Miami RedHawks up 52-45 at App State. Peter Suter leading scorer for Miami with 12 points. About 10 minutes left in that one. Also in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, Coastal Carolina up 36-26 at halftime against Western Michigan. Troy up 43-29 against Toledo, also at half. James Madison up 41-26 on the Ohio Bobcats. Ohio projected to win the MAC according to the preseason coaches poll. Georgia Southern up 40-24 on Northern Illinois at half there as well. Buffalo up 43-38 on Old Dominion. And Georgia State up on Ball State 27-25. About 30 seconds left in the half in that. Still to come, starting right about now, Kent State at Louisiana, Eastern Michigan at Texas State, Central Michigan at South Alabama, Bowling Green at Southern Miss, and Akron at Arkansas State. In top 25 scores around the women's college basketball worlds, a lot of dominant performances so far today. Two close games across the pond, though, in France. Juju Watkins and the USC Trojans just getting past the 20th ranked Ole Miss Rebels. Watkins with 27 points and 10 rebounds in that one. Also number 5 UCLA beating number 17 Louisville 66-59. And then a lot of dominant performances from ranked teams. Notre Dame beating Mercyhurst 105-61. Number 8 Iowa State beating Chicago State 96-56. Number 11 Duke beating Radford 89-36. Number 13 Kansas State beating Green Bay 92-45. Number 15 North Carolina beating Charleston Southern 83-53. Number 19 Florida State beating North Florida 119-49. Quite a performance from the Seminoles. Number 22 Kentucky, Kenny Brooks' first game as the Wildcats head coach, beating USC Upstate 98-43. Number 23 Nebraska beating Omaha 88-48. And number 24 Alabama beating New Orleans 115-53. In action right now, number 18 Maryland winning at UMBC 26-19. About 2 minutes left in the half in that one. Number 25 Indiana hosting unranked Brown. They are up 39-21 at half. This is a bit of a shock here. Number 1 South Carolina, the defending champions, went undefeated last year, losing to Michigan after the first quarter 21-18, playing that one out in the Hall of Fame series in Las Vegas. You can catch that one on TNT/True TV, hopefully after the end of this Miami App State game. And number 7 LSU playing Eastern Kentucky at home. We'll take a short break, and on the other side, review some stats from the first half as well as keys to the second half. Miami up on App State 34-22. Keep it dialed in here. You're listening to Red Hawk Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Welcome back to Millett Hall. A few minutes away from the second half of this opening game in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. RedHawks up 34-22 on App State, but we're up 23-4 after the first quarter, so App State trying to claw their way back into this one. Leading scorers for each squad, beginning with Miami. Amber Treader leading the RedHawks with 10 points. Shooting 2 from 3 from the three-point line as well as 2 from 2 from the free throw line. Treader continuing to build on her strong start from last year, sophomore. first game in her sophomore campaign. Leading scorer for App State, Mara Nera, the transfer from Presbyterian, leading the Mountaineers with 11 points, 3 from 5 from the three-point line. They had a very strong second quarter, getting all 3 of those 3-pointers. Also has 1 rebound on the day, but does have 2 fouls. So we'll see if Miami is able to get a foul on her, especially if after the early minutes. That could be huge in deciding this game. I would say that the first 5 minutes of this second half are going to be really critical. If Miami is able to continue playing really good defense, I would say they've done a really good job of preventing App State from getting many points inside of the paint. Most of the points that App State was able to get came from the 3-ball. App State only 6 points in the paint today, so Miami doing a really good job of limiting the inside game. But if App State is able to continue staying hot from 3 as they were able to in the back half of the second quarter, then things could get very interesting here in the second half. So I would say if Miami is able to play the way that they played defense the first 15 minutes of this game and start strong to start off the second half, then they put themselves in really good position. But for the App State side, I would just say continue to stay hot, continue to look inside, and then pop it out for 3. If you're going to continue to be able to make those shots, you put yourself in a really good position. You're able to quiet down the crowd here and really get all the momentum in the game and really make things uncomfortable for Miami, who has been struggling to win games, especially last year, although they did go 5-5 in the last 10. So that'd be the main key. I just want to see how the first 5 minutes of this one goes. One last thing before we kick it to the guys. I was interested to see the battle of the pace here, if App State was going to continue going pretty fast or if they're going to really slow it down. Really looks like they've been on the faster end. They haven't been afraid to shoot early in the shot clock. It's just they haven't really been able to make most of them outside of the last 5 minutes. And I would say if you're down 12, you're probably more likely to go faster as well. Second half coming up very soon. We'll take a short break, and then Andrew Relvas and Sean Wiesemann bring you the second half. We'll see if Miami is able to hold off the Mountaineers and get their first win on opening night here in college basketball. RedHawks up 34-22. Second half coming up after the break. Stay tuned. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio.
The second half goes to the Miami RedHawks.
Welcome back to Millett Hall. Thank you so much to our halftime presentation with Bryan Miller. We're back for third quarter action. Miami versus Appalachian State. RedHawks up 34-22. That was the second quarter where App State won it 18-11. Miami's looking to start off the second half on a strong note. On the inbound from DeFries, it is Tamar Singer. Back up top, Maya Chandler. Beautiful pass looking for Treader, and she missed the pass there, falling off out of bounds. Off to the races. Here comes the Mountaineers. Strip and a foul on Chandler to stop the play.
I'm a little surprised they called a foul on that, given, I don't know, at least from our angle it looked like all ball, but I'm going to say they have the better angle, so I can't really cast too much judgment on the refs here tonight.
So foul on Chandler. Here's a near wing 3 from Marinera. Comes up empty, rebounded by DeFries, the Netherlands native. Here comes the racing RedHawks the other way. Pass from Gonzalez deflected. Eventually back over to Tamar. Maya Chandler, a right-handed free throw. Jay is good. RedHawks up 36-22.
You know, the old pitcher for the Yankees, Lefty Grove, sometimes said it's better to be lucky than to be good. That was a deflection that ended up in the hands of Amber Treader and eventually in the hands of Maya Chandler, who got the two-pointer.
Pump fake, Marinera swings it right side. Short corner, short wing 3 from Pericic comes up short. The RedHawks grab another stop, up 14. Angelina Gonzalez conducts the offense. Back right side pass, once again nearly intercepted. Looking for Maya Chandler, and this is going to be a timeout taken by, looks to be.
Yeah, it looks like Glenn Box wanted the timeout.
Timeout, Miami stops the clock at 8:50, and kind of a sloppy start to our half, but the RedHawks will try and clean some things up.
Yeah, a couple deflected passes already. That last pass before the timeout, I think, is what sent Glenn Box over, because he was not happy with the lack of focus from the RedHawks there, and understandably so, considering it was a relatively clean half of basketball for the RedHawks. Granted, they had 11 turnovers, but those turnovers they were able to get stops on, so they were somewhat able to clean up their mistakes. But just not good passing so far, and something he definitely wants to correct with a little harder, a little more focus.
We'll take a break and be back here at Millett Hall. Our score 36-22. RedHawks on top. You're listening to Miami women's basketball here on RedHawk Radio. Back from the timeout taken by Glenn Box. Our score 36-22, Miami ahead. Kind of a sloppy start to the third quarter. Sean, how can they clean some things up?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned before the break, it really is just going to come down to a little bit more focus. They just looked like they were just kind of like going through the motions out there. And obviously they were able to get a basket early on, but otherwise it looks like defensively and offensively they were just kind of like, just kind of winging it out there and not really playing within the structure that Glenn Box wanted.
Some news as well, Angelina Gonzalez was getting some attention from the trainers, up to her own feet now.
Like her
Actually some cramping.
Yeah, it looked like her left calf was getting some attention there.
It's also worth noting that she missed most of last year with an injury, only played in 3 games for Mercer, so potentially trying to get her feet under her for this game.
Well, that's the good news about having a lot of depth here, is you can stay her a little, keep her on the bench a little longer, give her a chance to rest. You don't feel like you absolutely have to have her. With a 14-point lead, you especially don't feel like it.
Herho's pass to Singer, intercepted. Here comes the Mountaineers, right-handed layup on the fast break from Porter is good, and it's 36-24, 12-point advantage, Miami.
Looks like, in fact, she's ready to check it back into the game, which is good news for RedHawks fans.
Maya Chandler yelling out orders. Goes on the right side, has a wide open Herho for 3 on the far corner. Comes up short on the left side. Carver and Shredder were fighting for the rebound. It's going to stay here with Miami.
It was a good shot from Nuria Herho in the right-hand corner, but not quite able to drain it.
Inbound below the rim, Gonzalez back to DeFries, over to Chandler on with a close wing. Angelina Gonzalez down the lane, tough layup, and she makes it. 38-24 our score now.
Tough shot from Gonzalez there. Kind of got pinned up a little bit on the drive up, but able to get it through.
Era finds a wide open Porter all alone on an island. Layup is good. 38-26, back to a 12-point advantage. Here comes DeFries backing down her opponent, comes up empty. Amber Shredder able to clean it up, counted and a foul, send her to the line for a free throw.
And there's that strength, that added strength that Glenn Box was talking about in the preseason press conferences, really getting put to work there by Shredder. Real strong finish to get the and one there.
That's Shredder's 12th point. searching for
And is number 15 for the Mountaineers.
13th coming up. Remember Tritter as well. Double figures machine last year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you can expect to see some more stat lines like that, more involvement in the offense. It really started to click for the offense a little bit better in MAC play when she started becoming the focal point of the offense.
Nails the free throw. Back to a 15-point game, 41-26. Pass down low, Zeta Porter, who's been busy with this offense. Wrapped up, travel on her. And a turnover in App State.
And that's the active hands and the defensive intensity that Glenn Box preaches going to work there. Just kind of caught in no man's land, Zeta Porter getting the turnover.
RedHawks up 15, about 7:20 left to go here in the third. Angelina Gonzalez finds a wide open Chandler straightaway three, and she connects. 44-26, RedHawks on top here in the third.
With the amount of shooting on this RedHawks squad, you cannot really leave any one person that open. Chandler able to convert on a really great pass from Gonzalez.
RedHawks up 18 now, trying to get their lead up to 20. A feed down low. Carver, she's wrapped up by a trio of RedHawks, and this is going to be a foul. Looks like on DeFries, but could be Gonzalez.
I think it might have been, looks like it was Gonzalez. Yeah, it was. She was the one reaching in with her hands there a little bit, maybe a little too active hands there in that case.
Reporting in right now, number 24, Asia Innes for the Mountaineers to replace Zeta Porter.
The foul on Gonzalez, and this will be an inbound for Asia Innes. Innes has Mara Nera. Nera stripped up, the ball's loose, battle for the ball. On the ground, this will be a jump on. Possession's gonna stay with App State.
I think just about every single person on the floor got a hand on that. That ball looked like it had some bacon grease on it or something, the way it was sliding around there.
18-point advantage for the RedHawks. This is a near side inbound. Carver, Innes, back over to Rylan Muff at the top. Rebounded last year for App State. Feed down low, Pericic, it's blocked by DeFries. Out of bounds off of Pericic, turnover App State.
I mean, once again, that is about as good of a defensive series you can have there as a great defense from every single player on the floor. They're able to force the turnover.
Quickly down the lane, Tamar Singer trying to thread the needle for Gonzalez, comes up empty, picked up by Nera of the Mountaineers. Feed over the top, this one intercepted the other way by Maya Chandler. The RedHawks are racing down the offensive timeline. Gonzalez near corner three, off. Rebound
really
is
tough
loose.
Rebound from Treader there.
Back up top, Singer a three, wide left off of the far wing. Goes back to the Mountaineers. So good possessions, but coming up empty were the RedHawks there, Sean.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, obviously the offensive side of the ball didn't do what they wanted to do in that series, but Gonzalez and Chandler both, you know, for two guards, they really play a lot bigger and a lot just taller than they actually are. Chandler only 5'7", Gonzalez 5'9", and both of them really active and really physical in their and very aggressive.
Asia Innes over to Rylan Muffet. Here's a jumper that comes up short, blocked by Treader from Hedgie. The RedHawks working it fast. Lucretia Edwards checking in now. Angelina Gonzalez looking for a wide open Isla DeFries, but they weren't on the right timeline, and this is a turnover out of bounds. Miami. 5:42 left to go. Miami still up 18, but App State trying to go on a run here. Asia Innes goes left side to Carver. Here's a far corner three, empty from Edgy. Stays an 18-point advantage. Right side, top of the key. Treader, left side. Lucretia Edwards, a three, no. Back rebounded by Emily Carver. Asia Innes, right side. Here's a chance, working against Maya Chandler. That's Hedgie. Back on the right side, Asia Innes. Innes feeding over the top, tipped away by DeFries. The RedHawks grab it the other way. Angelina Gonzalez orchestrating the offense. The Euro layup is good. Counted in a foul.
Oh my gosh. Looks like she's a little banged up on that. Like I mentioned before, she plays with some aggression, but it looks like it left her a little banged up there.
Angelina Gonzalez able to get the foul.
Yeah, it looks like it's just more cramping. They're going to be doing some stretching on that left kind of ankle and calf area there. Boy, she plays like just like a pit bull, just driving downhill. There's just nobody who can stop her when she gets a full head of steam. And like I mentioned, for somebody who's only 5'9", I mean, granted, shouldn't say only. I'm 5'9" as well, but regardless, that's certainly something that that's an aggressive play style that can lead to these kind of unfortunate injuries here.
We'll take an injury timeout. Be back in a moment here from Red Hawk Radio. It's 46-26, Miami on top. Welcome back to Red Hawk Radio after our injury timeout. Looks like Gonzalez is okay, so look to be potentially cramping, and she's at the free throw line set to shoot one. So far, Gonzalez 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Really making a good first impression in her Red Hawk debut. Coming to the line for her first free throw on the season.
Looks like a few substitutions made for App State. 3 new faces, and Jemani Ingram, Zeta Porter, and Elena Pericic all in here. Potentially a little more size for the Mountaineers here.
So Gonzalez's free throw is good. It's a 21-point advantage, 47-26 Redhawks on top. About 5 minutes left to go here in the third. Carver and the Mountaineers, can they make a run? Asia Innes goes down low. Elena Pericic passes left. Here's Jemani Ingram, a little spin cycle corkscrew, comes up short, picked up by Tamar Singer of Miami. Singer moving quickly, passes right side. Maya Chandler comes up empty on the three. This is going to be a foul on App State, so it stays here with Miami.
Got a fortuitous bounce there to kind of make it so that all App State could do was foul in that spot. I mean, unfortunate for the Mountaineers, but very fortuitous.
So foul on Elena Pericic. Stops the clock at 4:27 left to go. Miami up 21.
13-4 run to start for the third quarter for Miami in the first 5.5 minutes. Love to see that from the RedHawks.
Tamar Singer thought about a 3 pump fakes. Now has Maya Chandler. Chandler moving left, moving right. Count it if it makes, but it falls off the rim and out. It'll be 2 free throws coming up for the SMU transfer, Maya Chandler. Spent the previous 3 seasons at Loyola Chicago. Her first free throw is good. Already a strong player with Loyola Chicago. Mountain Valley Conference Freshman of the Year. Second free throw comes up short, so she splits the pair. She has 6, 48-26, RedHawks on top.
And her presence along with, you have multiple other power conference kind of players speaks to the level of recruiting that Glenn Box is really getting at here.
Singer strips it, looking left. Lucretia Edwards back right side, right wing for, and here's a straightaway 3 from Edwards. It's good. RedHawks up 51-26.
Coach Sharp wants the timeout now. She is not happy about that.
Timeout App State. RedHawks up by 25.
I'll tell you, for a team up 25, I said this earlier, but you could not see a less smiling individual than Glenn Box in this arena right now. There's still obviously some things he very much wants to say to his team.
So we'll take a break. RedHawks up by a bunch. Let's see if they can keep the lead and grab their first win of the season. Stay with us. It's Miami women's basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Welcome back to Millett Hall. We've got a score update. The Miami men's team facing off against App State in Boone, North Carolina. Sean, what's going on there?
Well, it looks like that game just wrapped up with a 77-63 victory over App State. App State projected to be about 4th in the conference in a very strong Sun Belt conference, so certainly bodes well, and good to see the RedHawks get an early victory and potentially look for the sweep from the men's and women's basketball teams here.
Going for the sweep indeed. Let's see if they can do it. Miami up 25. About 3:40 left to go here in the third quarter. Pass left side on the far corner. Jomani Ingram, fade away jumper, but fouled was Asia Ennis, and this will be 2 free throws coming up for her.
Looks like it was on Lucretia Edwards on that one. Edwards getting a little more run after not playing at all in the first half. Interesting to see. Glenn Box hoping see a little something from her. She was a big contributor last year too, which is why I think we were both surprised to see her not play at all in the first half, but good to see her get some minutes in the second here.
Excuse me, this was Zeta Porter who misses the first free throw. Led the team in free throw percentage last year at 88%.
I mean, they're only shooting 36% from the free throw line this far.
And she misses both free throws, 0 for 4. And it has been a shooting nightmare for the Mountaineers tonight.
Make that 33% on the free throw for the day. Goodness gracious.
Lucretia Edwards, left wing 3. It's good. 54-26. Miami up big here in the third.
Boy, I am soaking wet because it is raining in here tonight. Goodness gracious.
Pass stripped away here by the Rough Riding RedHawks. Beautiful feed. Chandler to Singer. The layup is good, and the RedHawks up by 30.
I mean, like I said, everything is humming right now. Defensively, offensively, another 4-point quarter thus far for App State, the first 7 minutes. And, boy, you could not be happier if you're a fan of the Miami RedHawks tonight.
Porter working against DeFries and Singer. This will be a foul on, looks like DeFries. So it stops the clock at 2:44. Or excuse me, Tamar Singer with the foul. Miami's third. App State as well has committed 4 personal fouls, so close to being in the bonus are the RedHawks.
Something interesting I'm seeing here is, looks like Gonzalez and Treader combining here for 25 points, while App State has 26 today. Speaks to the level of defensive domination that the RedHawks have had today.
The feed, Pericic back top of the key, Marinera. Marinera, shifty as ever, chucks up a 3, and this one comes up short on the right iron. Not sure if it even hit iron, and that'll go out of bounds back to Miami.
Looks like Richardson's coming in here for Treader and going to take the inbounds.
Good first night for Marinera, the Presbyterian College transfer. 11 points, leading the scorers for the Mountaineers. Checking in Rashassan, like Sean just mentioned. Here's a near 3 from Edwards, off, but a fortuitous bounce right back to the RedHawks. Down low, Isla LaFries able to get the layup, counted and a foul, sent her to the free throw line.
She is fired up too. What a physical rebound on a fortuitous bounce like you mentioned, and a great putback to get the N1.
Elsa DeFries. If you don't know her name, you should get to know her name. She has been a problem tonight. The freshman from the Netherlands.
I want to know what they're putting in the water there in the Netherlands, because I need to start drinking some of that.
Standing at 6'3". Her first free throw comes up short, and she can't convert the 3-point play. Still gets the layup. Miami up 58-26. Here's Innes off the mark, back kicked up. This is Marinera. So nice ball movement here. Martinez to the cup, and she is fouled by Singer. It'll be a couple of free throws coming up for her.
And that's honestly, it sounds bad, but that's kind of the worst case scenario for App State, the way they've been shooting the free throw tonight. You really hope to get those and 1 buckets, and it just doesn't seem like any of those are falling tonight for the Mountaineers.
So far, 4 for 12 from the free throw line, and this will be a pair for Sanea Martinez. First free throw rolls off the mark on the left side. Free throw struggles continue to be apparent. The Northeastern junior college transfer from Colorado can't hit the second. Now 4 for 14. Shot off the bank and in. What a shot from beyond the arc from Martinez to redeem herself. 58-29 here in the third. Kicked ball violation. Tamar Singer trying to thread the needle. This goes out of bounds off of App State. Stays with the RedHawks.
Looks like Hennessy Lou Brown in the game now. Getting to see her. She had got some consistent minutes for the RedHawks last season. Good to see her back in the lineup here.
Lou Brown on the inbound has Tamar Singer. Back right side, Lou Brown feeding down low. Katie Rashassan, the senior from Zionsville, to the cup, and a foul on. Looks like it'll be an offensive foul on her.
Looks like she was set. That was a good draw on the charge there.
So an offensive foul running over Zoe McCrary. It returns back to the hands of the Mountaineers. (58-29), RedHawks on top. 1:30 left to go here in the third. Left side, Marinera. Nera passes right, Asia Ennis. Defended well by Lou Brown, back left side, Nera. Feed down low, Asia Ennis leads to a wide open 3 in the corner for Carver. No, cleaned up by Lucretia Edwards, and the RedHawks get back to work offensively. Left side, Lou Brown. And this will be a foul on, looks like App State. DeFries and Nera were wrapped up down low, and this will go against App State.
Yeah, looks like this one will go on Nair. That's her
Coming in
third.
for App State is number 12, Zeta Porter.
So Miami's in the bonus now. This will be free throws coming up for Elsa DeFries.
Looks like they're taking Nara out now, given that she's already got 3. Porter's now in.
First free throw clings off the right iron. One more coming up for Elsa. Second free throw is pure, and it's a 30-point game now. 59-29, just over a minute left to play here in the third.
When you said the words 30-point game, did you expect to say those words at all tonight, Andrew, when we started this?
No, I did not. Looked to be a lot closer when we started. The RedHawks have defied expectations and beyond.
More than definitely.
Beautiful feed, left-handed layup, good from DeFries. Miami up 61-29. What a start for the RedHawks. 40 seconds left to go. App State trying to stop the bleeding and get some offense going. Sanaya Martinez, a nice move, and she draws a foul from Hennessy Lou Brown.
I mean, it's clear that there's some bursts of offensive competence from the Mountaineers. I mean, they had an 18-point second quarter, but for the first and third quarters, there has just been nothing falling their way. I mean, you're going 4 for 14 from the free throw line and 23% from three-point land. I mean, there's not a whole lot winning you can do with that level of shooting.
Sanaya Martinez coming to the line now. She's 0 for 2 tonight. She sinks the first one. 1 for 3. App State now at 30 points, 61-30, and she sinks both free throws. So she's 50%, 2 for 4. Miami up 30. 61-31, shot clock separating about 4 seconds. Elsa DeFries looking over the top for Herho. And maybe if Herho was a foot taller, she'd be able to collect that one. That one sails out of bounds.
As soon as she let that ball go too, she puts her hands over her mouth and goes, my bad.
So now the shot clock is dark. 20 seconds left to go. App State trying to get the final bucket here of the third quarter. Emily Carver over to Zoe McCrary. Clock at 10, right-handed layup, no. Rebounded by Rashawson. The RedHawks will have the last possession. 3 seconds left. Lou Brown at the buzzer. It's good! Hennessy, Lou Brown, and back-to-back buzzer beaters for the RedHawks. Puts the end of the third quarter here at Millett Hall. What a great first start to the season for Miami, Sean.
I mean, like, this is about as good as it gets. I mean, two quarters where App State has scored single-digit points, and that's now 2 quarters where the RedHawks have scored more than 23 points. That's as good as it gets, and everybody is contributing. I mean, you get an 11-man rotation, and yet people are still almost everybody's gotten at least 1 bucket today. 8 different people have scored for the RedHawks. 9 different people have gotten rebounds. I mean, it's been as good of a day as you could probably ask for Glenn Box.
We've reached a media timeout after the end of 3. Miami up 63-31. Stay with us for a fun finish here at Millett Hall. You're listening to Miami Women's Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. 10 minutes left to go here in the contest between App State and Miami. Andrew Relvas alongside Sean Wiesemann here on Red Hawk Radio. Miami looking to start off the season strong and go 1-0. RedHawks up 63-31. Trying to finish the day strong. Hennessy Lou Brown passes down low. Elsa DeFries backing down her opponent. She comes up empty off of the glass on the right side, rebounded by the Mountaineers.
I imagine that in the next few minutes, this will be a chance for Box to really get to see what the very last scholarship people on his bench are all about. You know, give them a chance to get some minutes here.
Zeta Porter passes to Zoe McCrary, who wasn't even looking. It bounced off of her chest and out of bounds, and that is a head scratcher for Alora Sharp's squad.
They've just looked so, like, out of sync this entire game. When they were in sync and they were, you know, consistently executing their offense, they're a very good team. I mean, they outscored the RedHawks by 5 in the second quarter, but we just haven't seen that consistently, and the score is obviously as lopsided as it is because of that.
Emily Bratton now in. Here's a far wing three, Herho. No, off the front rim, pickpocketed by Bratton, but this will go out of bounds off of her. Bratton, another freshman on this team. She's a Miss Basketball finalist last season at Bloom Carroll High School near Columbus. An exciting name to keep an eye on. Minute has passed so far. RedHawks still up 63-31. Sanea Martinez way up top, passes left. Zeta Porter down the lane, trying to find some space. She passes left. Sanea Martinez for three. It's good. And it's 63-34 here in the fourth.
Martinez now the second leading scorer for the Mountaineers with 8 in only 9 minutes too.
Lou Brown, what a feed to a wide open Katie Rashassen, an easy layup, and it's 65-34 on the far side. Miami's passing as well has been phenomenal tonight. Here's a wide open three on the opposite wing from Innes, empty, and picked up by Lou Brown quickly. Here's Emily Bratton for three in the short corner. No, picked up by Martinez. Far pass, Porter to the rim, beats some contact, and she connects for two. 65-36. RedHawks on top.
You're going to definitely want to look for Glenn Box to really slow this, make this a half-court offense, and I say that as they unleash a three with 7 seconds into the shot clock.
Bratton's three on the far wing, no. And here come the Mountaineers quickly. Martinez, a far corner three, no. That one looking for a Mountaineer.
I think that's off to
goes
three.
off of Rashassen, one of the RedHawks.
Yeah.
It'll stay with App State here. So the Mountaineers shaking things up here. Got Maranera along with Pericic and some other substitutions coming in here, trying to switch things around on the deck here. Trailing by 29. On the inbound, left side, 3-4. Martinez is money, and it's 65-39 now.
And she is on a heater right now. She is the only one who looks like she has shown up consistently offensively here for the Mountaineers.
Bratton right side, Lard, and she's fouled immediately from Martinez. Martinez has really carried the load here in really the second half. 11 points tied for the team lead with Maranera.
I imagine that she'll get some more extended playing time later in the season from the performance tonight. She was a little closer to the bottom in the rotation, but she's played well.
Lucretia Edwards, near corner three, falls short. RedHawks still have possession. Edwards looking for Bratton. This one is intercepted. Here come the Mountaineers. Off to the races, Martinez. Pump fake, able to clean it up and cash in for the layup. 41-65, 13 from Martinez. This pass is intercepted. RedHawks are getting sloppy. Martinez still has it here. And she loses the ball. Both sides are sloppy. Up and down we go. Here comes Corey Lard to the cup. No. Grabs her own rebound, and a jump ball will be called. Possession will go back to the Mountaineers.
Number 15, Amber Trevor reports in for Miami.
Starting to feel like a rec game here at Millett Hall, Sean.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Getting a little sloppy here at here tonight, and it looks like too that the inexperience of some of the front court players is really starting to show, especially from Bratton and DeFries as well to a lesser extent. Both kind of just playing a little sloppy tonight.
.6:29 left to go. Nice ball movement. Here's a deep three. Heat check, no from Marinera. Who grabs the rebound? It's Bratton and the RedHawks, and they will push the pace the other way. Bratton to Lard. Dumps back, Amber Treader. Lard, double teamed. Sizes up the Mountaineers. Holds things with the breaks. Elsa DeFries, right side. Treader, way alone under the cup. Emily Bratton can't connect. And Nera cleans it up with the rebound. Nera thought about a three, passes down low. What a feed to Emily Carver, whose right-handed layup is good. 65-43 now. So 22-point advantage. RedHawks led by 30. I believe the most was 32. A little bit of a run here. RedHawks trying to end it.
12-2 run for the Mountaineers here in this fourth quarter.
Edwards thought about a three. Step back, mid-range jumper. No. Rebounded by Bratton. Her three from the corner is pure. What a way to get your first basket. Emily Bratton, the freshman from Carroll, connects for three. That leads to an App State timeout. 68-43, Miami on top of the Mountaineers.
Don't forget Miami women's basketball returns here to Millett Hall.
And we will take a break. Be back in a moment here from Oxford. Miami up big over the Mountaineers in the MAC versus Sunbelt Conference Challenge. Welcome back to Millett Hall. The score is 68-43, Miami up big. Andrew Relvas alongside Sean Wiesemann. As a reminder, we've got our Red Hawk Radio post-game show coming up after the conclusion of this one with Bryan Miller. He's going to break down everything for you, including Miami's upcoming game against the Xavier Musketeers. And Sean, that was a team where Miami ended up winning off of a buzzer beater last year here at home.
I remember that one vividly because Michaela Scarlett went for 23 points in that game for Xavier, but wasn't quite enough. And that actually ended up being Xavier's closest opportunity, as they only got one win in the entirety of last season. But hopefully it turns around for the women's team. The Musketeers, though, playing the RedHawks this Sunday at 1 p.m. at the Cintas Center. That'll be a game that we'll keep an eye on.
Number 8,
RedHawks have an interesting out-of-conference schedule this season. They play Tiffin, the next home game, among others, Western Kentucky and Dayton, and they host Purdue. So a full slate of non-conference opponents. Here's a play down the lane and a foul off of a shot of Elena Pericic will lead to a pair of free throws coming up for her.
The first for Miami in the fourth quarter.
A foul against Treader.
Shooting 2 for the Mountaineers. It's number 20.
Tonight.
Elena
I'm surprised to see some of the starters in this long. I figured that at the timeout that they would really empty the bench, maybe get a couple walk-ons in, but it doesn't look like Glenn Box has any intention of doing that and wants to just kind of keep rolling their offense the way they've got it right now.
First free throw from Pericic, no. Second one, yes. And she splits the trip, shooting 7 for 18 now. That's just not going to get it done if you're an App State fan. Down the lane, beautiful pump fake from Bratton. Eventually leads to Lard. Sizing up her opponent. Tough shot, and this one comes up short. Picked up by Marinera of the Mountaineers. Nera, some tight pressure from Lard. She grabs the block, forces a turnover. Continues to fill the stat sheets. Corey Lard has been a problem her first 2 seasons with Miami.
Yeah, she's picking up right where she left off with the defensive intensity and the hustle and just all the energy you could ask for from a defensive guard.
Shredder's layup falls short. Good pressure from Carver. Here's a 3. Nera missed left iron. Stripped by Carver. Possession still alive with App State. Martinez, a free throw jumper, in and out. Battle for the board, rebounded by Amber Treader, and a foul on Emily Carver stops the clock at 4:13 here in the fourth. This has been a tough shooting night for Carver. 2 points on 1 for 7 shooting, 0 for 5 from deep. Just not the performance from a player that App State fans, I'm sure, were expecting a lot out of.
Yeah, I mean, for somebody who had such high preseason expectations, you were certainly hoping for a little more than 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting, but you certainly got to imagine that somebody with as high of accolades as she's received thus far, you got to imagine that she'll continue to improve as an offensively.
Camille Jackson checking in now. She hands the Lard and she receives it right back. Defended by Martinez. Beautiful feed down low. Lucretia Edwards. Edwards looking for Jackson. Picked up by Porter.
It's like Claire Chambers on the foul there.
Claire Chambers fouls Porter on the fast break. Won't be a clear path foul. It'll just be an ordinary one. So 3:51 left to go. Glenn Box certainly emptying the bench now. Still a very deep team. The RedHawks have a good amount of starters from last year, and Lard and Edwards in at this point of the game.
Yeah, like we've said repeatedly, it continues to blow us away that that multiple players who were starters on last year's team are now people who are getting extended minutes and running the clock out here.
Foul on Elena Pericic after 2 jumpers from App State came up short. It was Martinez and Pericic. 3 and a layup coming up empty. This RedHawks defense stingy as ever, and a foul called against Pericic. 3:18 left to go. Miami up 68-44. Lucretia Edwards wide open for 3, near corner, money. Miami's up 71-44 here in the fourth.
A timeout here from Sharp. Not too happy about the openness of that 3, I can't imagine.
Appalachian State.
This timeout stops the clock at 3:05 left to go. The RedHawks are cruising here at Millett Hall, and we'll keep it here, Sean. We'll talk about how Miami has really outshot App State out of the building. Shot 42% from the floor, 39% from deep, and 79% from the free throw line. Those shooting numbers are going to win you a lot of games.
Absolutely they will. And so the fact that they are able to complement the fairly stingy defense that they had last season, but they not only have an enhanced interior presence with the addition of DeVries and the return of Richardson, now you have some shooting, some legitimate shooting to come to accompany that, that makes that a really dangerous RedHawks squad, one that can compete with pretty much any team in the MAC, you got to imagine.
Miami last year against Sun Belt teams went 1-1. They defeated Georgia State on the road in Atlanta. Trying to start off the slate strong, go 1-0 against a Sun Belt team. Under 3 left to play. Some nice ball movement, a runner up and in from the freshman from Iceland, Nukavdotish, able to convert that one, grab her first college bucket. 71-46 now, and a foul in transition on App State. Stops it at 2:36. Camille Jackson to the line.
We were hoping that the young lady from Iceland would not be somebody's name we'd had to pronounce tonight, given the complexity of it, but we're happy to see her get her first college basket.
2 free throws for Camille Jackson, the Illinois transfer, makes the first free throw. Camille Jackson with that bucket as well makes her first point as a Red Hawk. 72-46, trying to go perfect from the trip, and she converts both. 2 for 2 is Jackson, and Miami's up 73-46 here in the fourth. Cruising against these Mountaineers. Looking to close out this one strong against App State. Nukladovich goes down low. Feed for Martinez. This one stripped Claire Chambers. In her 4th season with Miami, grabs the steal, and the RedHawks go back to work. Hennessy Lou Brown moving left, moving right. Layup falls.
Beautiful footwork from Hennessy Lou Brown there.
Off the right side. Here's a feed down low. Camille Jackson grabs her own miss, and the possession stays alive here with the RedHawks. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Fake 1, fake 2. Camille Jackson, a jumper inside the free throw line, empty, and grab the rebound is Sanea Martinez. Under 2 left to play. The RedHawks up 76-46 still. And right to the cup. A layup for Sanea Martinez makes it 48-73. RedHawks up by 25. Careless basketball there. Turnover from Lard, and the Mountaineers will rush it the other way. Sanea Martinez, the leading scorer, feeds the freshman. Goes right side to Emily Hedgie. This pass intercepted, tipped, and this will be a jump ball right back to the RedHawks. Forcing the steal. Looked like it was either Bratton or Chambers forcing that one. Great work.
Yeah.
The defensive pressure.
Yeah, I think that was Bratton, and Bratton was able to just get on the floor too and able to force the jump ball and able to retain possession. Really gritty stuff there from the freshman.
Miami up 25. Just over a minute left to go. Wide open layup. The runner from Lou Brown is good.
Beautiful offensive design there from Glenn Box on that. I mean, kind of using your own teammate as a pick, so to speak, and able to free up Lou Brown wide open for the layup.
RedHawks up 75. Claire Chambers forces a steal, and she's off to the races. Behind the back, looking for Lard. The razzle-dazzle can't get it to go. Turnover out of bounds. Love the idea, though, from Chambers.
I mean, you certainly got to admire the creativity in the bravado to try that, but not quite able to connect on that pass.
RedHawks up 27, trying to make it 30. Got likely 2 possessions left. Here's a near wing 3 from Emily Hedgie, in and out. Battle for the board, rebounded by Hennessy Lou Brown. The RedHawks will control it here. Under 30 left to play. Lard on the left side, left wing, passes up top. Hennessy Lou Brown. Not sure if they will hold it or shoot, and looks like Camille Jackson and the RedHawks will hold it for the final possession.
Looked like they didn't want to hold it for the final possession. They looked like they wanted to push it up for a second, but I think they realized what the time they had, and what a great win for the RedHawks. 75-48 here in Oxford.
And in game number 1, Miami wins 75-48 on top of the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Miami improves to 1-0 on the young season. They take down a Sun Belt team that was predicted to finish near the bottom, but they take care of business and they have a statement W here at Millett Hall. A win of close to 30 points, Sean. This was a dominant effort. You got to credit really the depth and the amount of helping hands in Glenn Box's arsenal for the RedHawks in game number 1.
Absolutely. No, you're very right. This is, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things that Glenn Box will go over in their teaching moments, especially for some of the younger players, because there's a little bit of sloppiness and stretches, as we saw, but the long and the short of it is that's a pretty solid App State team that they just absolutely dominated from start to finish. I mean, quite literally from start to finish. That's about as good of a win as you can ask for to start a season against a very quality App State opponent.
So with that, the RedHawks will improve to 1-0 on the season. Meanwhile, App State falling to 0-1. The leading scorers tonight for Miami, it was Amber Treader with 13, 4 for 8 from the field. Angelina Gonzalez with 12. Those were the only, along with Elsa DeFries with 10 points. So 3 players in double figures for Miami. Nearly a double-double for Amber Treader, 13 points and 9 rebounds. A great night for her. Meanwhile, for App State, the leading scorer, Sanea Martinez, who came off of the bench, 15 points. She sunk 3 threes, and Marinera, the only other player in double figures, with 11. Miami's next matchup will be on the road at Xavier against the Xavier Musketeers in the Cintas Center. It'll be a 1 o'clock start this Sunday. We will keep an eye on that matchup. Miami trying to defeat Xavier for the 2nd year in a row, this time on the road. Meanwhile, App State will be back at home in Boone, North Carolina to face off against Columbia College from South Carolina. Thanks so much for tuning in and spending your Monday evening with us. We'll hand it over to Bryan Miller for the post-game show. Final score, 75-48, RedHawks over App State. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Andrew Relvas, joined alongside Sean Wiesemann. We'll hand it over to Bryan Miller for the post-game show now. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Sean. Thank you, Andrew. Pretty much a perfect start for the Miami RedHawks. They win the opener 75-48 over the Appalachian State Mountaineers. You know, towards the end of halftime, I really pointed out that the first 5 minutes of the third quarter were really going to be key. But after a couple turnovers for Miami, things weren't looking good. It was looking like App State was going to get right back in this thing. But then a three-pointer from Maya Chandler really started to quiet the App State run, and Miami started to go on a run of their own. A 13-4 run, to be exact, in the first 5 minutes. That extended the lead to 46-26, and Miami really didn't look back after that, and they win the opener 75-48 over App State. Some team stats from today's game: Miami shooting 40.6% from field goals, App State 28.8%. 3 points, App State shooting 24.1, Miami 38.5. Free throw line very much in favor of Miami as well. Mountaineers 7 from 18 from the charity stripe. Miami 13 from 16, for 16 I should say. Much better performance from the RedHawks in that one. The key one for me, points off of turnovers. App State really didn't turn the ball over as much in the second half, but Miami is really able to capitalize. They get 27 points off of turnovers in tonight's ball game. App State only 6. So Miami really able to take advantage of opportunities that their defense created for them. App State not quite able to do the same. And second chance points as well. Miami 18, App State 11. Honestly, when you look at the stats, App State really started to play a lot better in the second half, but Miami, just a dominant first quarter and third quarter as well, really able to push them to victory. Miami led the entire time today after they got their first basket, about 3 minutes or so into the game tonight. They never looked back. Were tied or leading the entire game tonight. Can't really ask for much more if you're Glenn Box and the Red Hawk women's basketball team. Up next for Miami, they will be at Xavier on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. As Andrew and Sean mentioned earlier, as a win for Miami last year, winning on a buzzer beater here in Oxford. We'll see if they're able to go down to Norwood and get a win in the Cintas Center. That would certainly be huge for this Red Hawks program. Up next for App State, they will be taking on Columbia College Wednesday at 5 o'clock, so quite a short turnaround for the Mountaineers. Columbia College, not the one in New York, I should add. The one in South Carolina is an NAIA school, so should be a much easier opponent for the Mountaineers Wednesday early evening. Leading scorers, beginning with the RedHawks, it was, guess who, Amber Treader. 13 points in tonight's ball game, 9 rebounds, I should say. No assists on the day, but did have a steal. Amber Treader had a great season last year and is continuing that momentum in her sophomore season. Leading scorer for Appalachian State was Nea Martinez with 15. Only in 16 minutes, too, so very efficient start to the season for Martinez. Miami able to beat the Mountaineers 75-48. Strong start for Glenn Box and company. Crowd really got into it today. President Crawford right in front of me getting into it the entire night. Just a great start for this Red Hawks program. We'll see if they're able to continue the momentum Sunday afternoon at Xavier. That should sign it off from Red Hawk Radio. I've been your host, Bryan Miller. We will be back this weekend. We'll see Miami football tomorrow night. Not doing a broadcast for that one, unfortunately, but we'll be back Saturday afternoon where the Miami men's basketball team takes on the Wright State Raiders. Men's team getting a huge win at Appalachian State today, so the men's and women's team sweeping the Mountaineers. We'll see if each of them are able to continue the momentum this weekend. That should just about do it for us at Red Hawk Radio. For Andrew Relvas and Sean Wiesemann, I'm Bryan Miller, thanking you so much for listening and signing off. You all have a good night. Miami wins 75-48.